Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Black Sheep Rising. Episode, I don't even remember anymore.
I don't know, but it's always one more than whatever it actually is because of
anybody
episode
care?
00.
Yeah, no one cares.
They'll see the episode number on the YouTube so they want it.
The five guys,
Start the timer.
the five guys who watch this show know what episode it is, and that's all right with
The
me.
people at Five Guys watch this show?
What is Five Guys, and what kind of restaurant is that?
No wonder that's why they spit in my burger. They watch
How
this
do-
damn show.
They spit in your burger. How do you know if they spit in your burger?
Do you
kinda
check it?
watch 'em.
I don't know.
Are you like the Super Troopers guy? Do you open up every one of your burgers to see this?
I don't know. I'm
like spit to you?
joking.
Is this
If anybody from Five Guys is actually watching, I don't think you've ever spat in my food. Please don't start now.
now you can never go back there.
If it's semen, it makes it a little more salty. So if you get an extra salty burger, you might. Now that you're going to think about that all the time now.
I thought it was dependent on your diet, so
True.
it can taste like anything, really. I think it might have
I'm
the.
not like a semen connoisseur. Or anything.
I just watched the South Park episode today where Butters was he had
Butter's creamy goo.
yeah, so I'm catching up. I'm that's how far back I am. So I guess I'm a whole season and a half behind, and that was the one I watched this morning.
It's Butter's creamy goo.
That is fucking disgusting. What?
It's South Park. It gets like more
Best
fucked
served
up
warm.
every time.
Wait, you don't watch South Park? How did you know that? I guess you do watch South Park.
Is it
Occasionally.
even a kids show anymore? It's so intellectual now.
It's never been a kids show, but yes, it's very intellectual and.
I'll occasionally watch it, but I'm not one of these people that's like, oh my God, the new South Park, I gotta go watch it. It came on like 5 minutes ago. I gotta watch it.
Not like Breaking Bad where I did that, but
No, there's most definitely that fart humor. It can be off-putting to the true intellectuals out there in the world, but to the
Okay,
rest of us, the people who
you.
Yeah, I don't like when they make fun of Ed and Ethan. That's just not cool.
I don't know who Ed and Ethan are.
They're the Canadians that have the show on LRN.
So the two Canadians they have on South Park are making fun of those two guys.
They insinuate that all Canadians are the same,
The fart joke brothers.
thus making fun of Ed and Ethan.
I don't know where you've going with this. I don't know what you've seen.
There's the Canadians.
stop using status
Philip
logic.
and what the other one.
Peter, Mark,
I don't know.
Terrence and Philip.
Terrence, and Philip.
Terrence and Philip,
Aha.
and it's all fart jokes, and they imply that all Canadians are like that.
Philip.
So when they make fun of Terrence and Philip, they're making fun of Ed and Ethan.
All right, that was about a minute worth of bullshit.
Yeah, and that people don't even know who we are yet. Hey, my name is Conan Salada, and joining me, regular co-host
What's up?
Daryl W. Perry, and Jay's back
Guess who's back?
in the
Back
motherfucking house
again.
with the big for your motherfucking.
Jay is back.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
I
Jay
found
is
out.
back, Jay is
Believe it or not, I
back,
found out that
Jay
my
is
mother
back.
watches this show,
Really?
and
fan?
she's not
How
a
you
fan.
doing?
She's not a fan. She's a fan. She'll watch the cleaner versions of the show.
What's the cleaner version? You actually produce a cleaner version?
No, I don't do any cleanup, but
when Thing 1 and Thing 2 are on the show.
Oh, they don't curse?
they don't curse. I've never heard Garrett curse. I don't know that I don't know if he has any of that vocabulary available.
I've
to him.
heard Garrett say fuck before.
James doesn't curse. Shauna curses, but in her own way. I've gotten her to curse on the show, but she always says like friggin' or, she makes words up, which in my book is just like saying frack or frell or how or
It
whatever.
doesn't count, but it still counts.
Yeah,
Fricka
yeah,
fart.
you can get away with it, but it's forget that nonsense. So so she won't watch the show because of some certain guests that are on. She hates Daryl. She hates Rapture. She didn't say anything about Jay. She doesn't like Allie.
What?
Allie's kind of she cursed a lot. I think it's all about the curse words. I don't know. I don't understand it. So she's not going to watch this episode, so I can say whatever I want.
I don't think she watches anything.
I think she skims through every one. I guess she's just looking for just to see if I'm still alive, because that's what moms do.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad mentioned this show the last time I talked to him. He was like, I watched that, what is it, like a black dog show or something? I wish you didn't cuss so damn much on there.
Damn much.
But I guess it's really off-putting for some people. I mean, we are.
Sorry, Dad.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just a word.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm just
people talk like this in general conversation.
everywhere that I go, every job that I've ever worked at.
Exactly.
You go in the back room.
Are we too low class for you, like CNS workers or something?
So for example, at Walmart, we're not allowed to curse out on the floor.
Daryl got that one, I think, on a separate level.
There will be serious issues if we go out on the floor and start cursing, and a customer complains. That's serious issues. But when we all go back in the back, man, we're
dirtiest mouths is a food word.
and not only is it curse words, but we're talking mature content. You know,
Fart jokes.
Of course, there are some individuals you don't.
Scat.
There's certain jokes you don't say around certain people.
Might get fired because they'll get offended
Yeah.
by what some of you say. Like,
But overall,
it would be
he's trying
considered
to rape me with his
inappropriate
words.
if I said, "Hey, I saw a picture of Rick Santorum eating a chocolate ice cream cone, and it reminded me of Two Girls, One Cup."
Would they even know what you're
without
talking
the
about?
girls or the cup?
I don't know that anyone would have gotten that joke.
I'm sure somebody,
if they heard it,
got the joke.
I think that at my particular place of employment, if you said Rick Santorum, there'd probably be like 3 guys who actually know who he is, and
Nobody that knows the
And there's-
internet version of the definition.
yeah, most
Have you
people.
ever Googled yourself?
Yeah, most people haven't even looked that up. Who was the one that asked him that when he was here? Was that Derek?
He was asked that question several times by various people. I don't remember who it was. I think Ian was filming, and they were definitely singing the Shire Choir Chronic Carols. But I don't remember who it was that actually asked the question.
I thought that I think it might have been Derek, if
Possibly.
I remember correctly. But there's so much content coming out of this little piece of real estate here we call Keene that it's kind of
shizzle.
especially hard for us to keep tabs on what is coming.
Yeah.
I don't even watch stuff from here, honestly.
Well, I mean, you're a part of it. I mean, it's not really as important for you.
But yeah, I hear from everybody's watching.
And you're going to hear it second time.
Before they move anyway.
So we're going to be talking about it, and you don't necessarily need to see the video to know that it happened. But for some people, they're talking back to cops or asking a politician if he's Googled his name. Some people they've never heard things like this before. Oh my God, you're talking back to a politician, a god,
Authority.
Dear my God, he makes decisions for all of us.
Afterwards, did you get your hand slapped? Did you get a spanking by daddy government?
You ran into.
You should go to jail. You should go to Somalia. You son of a bitch.
I know. Didn't you ran into a government type this week
Yeah.
who sounded just like that? We're going to attempt to play it and get I hope the audio is good enough for you. But run us into this before we hit play.
All right, so this was Wednesday at the State House in Concord, New Hampshire. There was a morning session which was officially, even though it was January 8th of 2014, it was official business from the 2013 legislative year.
What kind of laws were being passed that day that you guys were most interested in being a part of?
The one that I showed up for a rally in support of was HB 492, which would tax and regulate cannabis in the state of New Hampshire. And there were a couple other bills that were of pretty decent importance, one of which being the bill that would have prohibited the license plate scanners. Or it may have been to allow, but we were encouraging people to vote against so that it wouldn't be allowed.
Right.
And neither one of those bills actually came up for a vote on Wednesday. But between the morning session and the afternoon session, myself, Ian Freeman, and Graham Colson decided to sing some Shire Choir Chronic Carols.
Evil shenanigans.
I wouldn't say that it was evil. I also wouldn't say that it was shenanigans. Well, yeah, it
was shenanigans. It most definitely was.
Most definitely was shenanigans. But we did get some applause from a couple of state reps. which was good. We got some dirty looks from other state reps. And after our performance, some old crotchety guy who has the title Sergeant at Arms came up and told us, "You need to step outside of the gallery so that I can speak with you." Well, why can't we talk here? We need to step outside of the gallery.
You know, if this was WW2, the Japs would shoot your balls off.
All right, here, I'm going to play it.
So
During what is not an actual session, they haven't
this
actually
is
started
Ian explaining
any
what's
meaningful
happening as I walk out
activity
with
here.
him.
And this is Walter Sword, the
I'm outside of the
Sergeant at Arms.
Wait. We have an issue with the demonstration in the gallery. That's the problem. The representatives and the Speaker of the House realize it is open to the public. However, if you want to have a demonstration or sing like you were singing, you should make arrangements beforehand. Does that make sense?
I don't generally like to ask permission to do things.
Well, I understand that, but we are on the other side. We're in the camp that believes that if you want to do something that involves
We
others,
can deny you.
Hold on.
that you should ask permission because that's the way this system works.
So he said, for those who couldn't make out what he was saying, the way the system works is that if you want to do something that may affect or disturb someone else, you should get their permission. And so I have a response to him.
You can do it!
Oh,
I
sorry,
need the
sorry.
mouse so that I can.
Well,
those people make laws that apply to me without asking my permission. I don't believe
Well,
that that's
they do.
right.
They
And I
do.
would like to go sit down and observe them dictate
You're
what I
mistaken
must do.
Because they do ask your permission because you voted for them.
I didn't vote for any single person that is in there.
Well, are you a citizen of New Hampshire?
I am an inhabitant. I am registered to vote. I voted for none of the above.
Well,
That is not a
that's your
vote
privilege.
for one of those people.
That's your privilege.
You're saying that I voted for them. I did not vote for
somebody
them.
didn't like
I
our
voted
singing.
against
You have a
them.
representative.
We were singing
in
some
the hall.
chronic Christmas carols.
Someone who claims to represent me, and I would like to witness what they do. I will not
You
disrupt
can
their
take-
session.
You can take issue with them.
Mr. Sword, there's no actual session going on, so it's not like we were interrupting anything.
I understand that. That's why I asked you to come out here and talk.
Right. Okay.
If the session was going on, it would have been a different story.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, that would have just been disrespectful.
Right. We wouldn't want to. We don't want to do that. We
No.
don't want to have no problems.
No, that's why we did it then.
I understand that, and I did what I had to do.
Okay.
Now the session is going to start probably within 2 or 3 minutes.
Right. So can I go have a
You
seat,
can go
please?
in there. I don't want. Don't make any disturbances.
I didn't make any disturbance this morning either.
Well, that's a question of judgment, isn't it?
I was sitting down.
What what kind of Christmas carols were you singing?
The
To hell with
chronic
happy
carols.
holidays.
So the interesting thing, after we went back and sat down, they started about 10 minutes late. So I guess the New Hampshire House of Representatives actually operates on Libertarian Standard Time. Who knew? And they had this elaborate thing to where somebody made an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, the governor of New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan. And everybody applauded and stood and cheered. And it sounded very much like that.
Fucking kids are everywhere. What's up with that?
And then she said some words. And then there was people standing up and chanting, "Oh, glorious flag, how I love thee, and I will kill people to protect thee." They didn't actually say those words, but
it was
that's the gist of what they said.
They were saying
I'm Batman.
No, I wish they would have said "I'm Batman."
that would have been cool actually.
That would have. And then they did the thing where the 400 state reps plus people in the gallery were invited to sing the national anthem. And so while people were singing the national anthem, I posted on Facebook, "Dear Sergeant at Arms, this singing disturbs me. They did not get my permission." And I think one or two people on Facebook saw that and understood the joke.
But he said,
You can do it!
if you get permission.
If you get permission.
So now
but they didn't get my permission. But he claims that their permission comes from the fact that there was an election held. Mm-hmm. Well, there was an election, and it doesn't matter whether you voted for them or not. You gave implicit permission because we had this thing.
Yeah. You know, you brought up a good point, and it's always bothered me when the governor comes into the building and everyone stands and applauds. How long did the applause last, by the way? Was it crazy
I would
stupid?
say about a minute or so.
Oh, my God. What the fuck is wrong with
the
people?
The funny thing is...
What is this worship, this leader worship all about? I mean,
Like a Hitler theme
here's
song
the
or
funny
something.
thing. I had Gardner Goldsmith on my radio show this afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And he was telling me about a radio job that he had where he was actually working for a radio station in Concord. A friend of his from Siberia came over, and they were hanging out for a few days, and she told him, you know, a lot of stuff that's going on here reminds me of what happened in the Soviet Union. And he said, what are you talking about? And she said, well, this speech right here, and showed a video to where at the time it was, I think, John Lynch. And they said, introducing the governor of New Hampshire, John Lynch. And everybody cheered and stood up. And she said, this is exactly what they did in the Soviet Union. And,
Or like, North Korea. You see those videos of North Korea?
and so he asked her to come onto his radio program one day.
Not only were they applauding, but they were saying, like, live 1,000 years or something.
Live 10,000 years.
Wow.
And
Godlike.
so he asked her to come on his show and relay this information because, this is stuff people need to hear. Like, we're heading down the path to becoming the Soviet Union.
Oh, yeah.
Here's somebody that lived in the Soviet Union. And as soon as his show was over, the general manager came up to him and said, did somebody on your show just compare the governor of New Hampshire to a Soviet leader?
You're wrong!
Yes, they did. It was wonderful, wasn't it? No, it was horrible. We want these people to put their advertising on our radio station when it comes election time. You will never do that again.
That is so lame.
Motherfuckers.
You better believe it, man. That is,
Always about the money.
well...
But here's the thing. There's an unwritten rule in broadcasting that you are never to let the sales guys dictate to the content guys what can or can't be broadcast.
The manager
usually the
dictate between them.
Yeah, no, usually the content guys are the ones who are bringing the people to the station. And if anything, it's the regulations that are preventing them from doing their job, which is getting more people to listen to the show. So it's kind of a silly circle that they're dealing with. The content guys are bringing people to the station, and they're usually saying things that people want to hear, like sitting on a microphone and getting an orgasm, you know who did.
Yeah.
But it's the sales guys, the regulators, who want the money from the advertisers.
Right.
But you got to kind of think. I mean, if you want people to listen to the advertisements, you need the content guys to fucking do their job. So I mean, stop fucking holding them back.
Right.
Pieces of shit.
That's one thing. I read an essay from John Stossel, and he was, really good at one time as being an investigative journalist and exposing a lot of these big companies that were doing really horrible things. And he was always concerned that he would get called into the office and told, well, you can't air this clip because they're one of our advertisers. But that never happened to him because there is that unwritten rule that you are not to let the money guys dictate what the content guys can or cannot produce.
What station was he with at that time?
I think he was on 2020 or 60 Minutes or 48 Hours.
I think he was
on one of them.
Yeah, I think he was 2020, but what is that station?
I don't
All right, never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in that space. It's all right.
ABC, PMS, NBC, and N.
You can't know everything, Daryl. There's only
PMS, NBC, and N.
there's only so much room in the old noggin.
Yeah.
You guys heard of nootropics?
Nootropics.
Is it called nootropics or nootropics?
Nootropics.
It depends on if you're talking to somebody that's sober or if you're talking to a drunk bastard.
But it's completely legal, right? Or is it highly regulated?
It's a research drug, and you can have a 30-day supply legally or something. I don't even know it's that. It's legal.
I was looking at it. It's a whole oxygen to the brain kind of a drug, which is, I think it's kind of neat. Get your cognitive skills, flowing, and increases memory, and
I heard an intoxicated person say that when he takes it, it sobers him up.
Yeah, I heard that too.
But it doesn't.
Have you tried it?
No, he's still intoxicated. He just thinks that he's sober.
Well,
why do you hate this intoxicated person so much?
He doesn't. He just likes to talk. He also hates the Republican. Well, he doesn't, but he just likes to talk about him. He just likes to pick on people who aren't like him. He's just like every other bully out there.
Why is he such a unique snowflake?
Because everyone's a unique snowflake, and we've got to show our shine. We got to shine our shine.
If this intoxicated individual were not annoying all the time, then maybe I could tolerate this person.
If he had a consciousness.
You know what it is?
Goddamn hippies!
You just hate hippies.
No, I don't. I love hippies.
No, you hate real hippies. You like these fake wannabe hippies.
You like big bushes, Daryl?
I plead the 69th.
So Daryl doesn't actually like hippies.
Wait, when the bush just continues on and on, all the way down to the toes?
I said I plead the 69th.
Well, 69 gets a little difficult if you have a big bush.
I mean,
Not
no, I'm
necessarily.
serious. I mean, how much bush are we talking about? Is it continuous? Does it keep going? Or do they kind of trim
I don't know,
and
everyone's
then
unique.
do they trim the bush?
That wouldn't be to the hippie, crunchy, crusty.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm trying to get at.
Gotta be all natural.
If the bush
You're
isn't
gonna shave your armpits. You ain't put deodorant on. You ain't shaving the bush.
if the bush ain't growing wild, then you're not a true hippie.
That's what I'm saying.
If you use soap, not a true hippie.
Well,
If you're using
Dr. Bronner's,
if the soap has been manufactured and made in a building somewhere and not in your kitchen
not
and
in the
your
back
sink,
in the tub.
then it's you're not a hippie.
Wow.
Sorry, man.
You're not burning your hand in lye.
Exactly.
Or somebody isn't.
Wow.
So all right, so the guy told you no singing.
But here's my question.
You gotta get permission. What?
Here's my question. If we were singing praises of the state instead of singing songs about how horrible the drug war
Why
is.
don't you do that? You do
Then
one state song and then troll him with a fuck you to the state song.
then would they have had a problem if we were singing
This?
enslave the world so that America can be free? Kill the terrorist.
Fuck yeah.
Enslave the poor.
Uh-huh.
Would they have had a problem with that? The state is glorious and all-powerful.
Now stand and applaud your governor for 1 whole minute. Hassan, live 10,000 years. Hassan, live 10,000
Hassan.
years. Hassan.
Is that like a Middle Eastern name?
Yeah, good point. And how do you? And is it
It
Hassan?
kind of looks like.
Because I hear both. I heard it both ways. And when I say both ways, I mean like, TV show, news
She
programs.
pronounces it Hassan.
Okay, it's Hassan then.
I know somebody that's Egyptian. That's El Hassan.
She's Caucasian. Her husband is Caucasian.
What is Caucasian? Why does it have N in Asian? If it's from Europe.
So how do you?
Actually, all right, so let me answer that first. Because the term Caucasian came to describe those who originated from the Caucasus Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So Caucasian came from that. And people from India are technically all Caucasian.
And Aryans too, right?
I believe so, yes.
Who were we talking about?
Hitler and white power.
Caucasians.
Aryans, Caucasians.
What the hell is this shit?
That's Caucasian music.
Is that from Price is Right?
The hiker game, yeah. That's the fucking the traveling yodeler on The Price is Right, to where if you
Damn
get
it,
the
Bob
price
Barker,
wrong
why did you quit?
and he goes to the very top of the peak, then he falls over and it takes him a week to restart the game.
Never even knew about it. Never heard about it. I
watched regular TV in
I just looked up yodeling and I found that and I went with it.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's the yodeling theme from the Price is Right hiker game.
Hold on one second.
Stupid dog!
Go away!
He listened to me this time.
He actually comes in. He's been coming in every time when you laugh. It's like you're giving him permission to come back in the room.
Do you want the energy?
I don't.
Your laughter is implicit support for the dog.
It's
being in the room.
intoxicating dog drugs, and he's getting off on it because we laugh, and he doesn't even.
From last episode I was on.
He doesn't even blink an eye when we laugh. But he knows that Daryl and I will punch him in the head if he comes in here and pushes a camera over like he always does. Or unplugs one completely.
Yeah.
Stupid dog.
Yeah.
All right. Go. All right. Back to
speaking of stupid dogs,
oh God,
the Keene School Board.
Oh really?
Apparently doesn't like you.
I'm thinking right now they don't like me at all.
Nor does the lawyer for the Keene School Board, because you're making him work.
I'm making him. Not only am I making him work, but I'm making him sweat.
How much are they paying this lawyer?
More, a fucking ton more than I make. A shit ton more than I make.
I mean, they're paying like the city of Keene like $125 a year. Right?
So he's probably making about the same. Make about $5,000 less than the city manager.
That's like more than like your private law firm. Most private lawyers make.
And what do they do all day? All they do is interpret crap like this, legalese.
Yeah.
And write things that
they work like 20 hours a week.
The
most.
When I call these guys to try
They're
to get
sitting there jerking off at the fucking porn in the computer.
When I call to ask questions and shit, these guys are never at their desks.
Of course not.
They're always getting back to me because they're off taking a fucking 3-hour lunch or whatever.
You always go to Keene and say, "Oh, he's at a meeting."
These guys. So, anyways, what's going on with these warrants, Daryl?
All right. So apparently the school board's lawyer and somebody for the Sentinel have said that some of the
Caitlin?
7 warrant articles that have been placed on the ballot by petition may be illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Well, actually, according to...
Yeah, so I pulled up the RSAs on a couple of these. The 2 that they specified, law dictates, blah, 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 blah.
And the 2 that we're talking about that they have specifically stated conflict with state RSA are the shall the district remove the authority from the school board to appoint new members to fill empty seats, which I have a serious issue with.
Yes.
All new members to the board shall only be appointed through the official electoral process. The problem they have right now is an empty seat, a seat empties for whatever reason.
Right.
And they just put an ad in the paper and they pick their favorite.
Yes.
And it's usually their buddy. And then 3 months later, during the actual election process, when these people's seats are actually on, and actually I don't know if that was, it was only for 3 months. But now
the most recent vacancy was filled for 3 months.
But now the new candidates have to deal with an incumbent.
Yes.
Do they list him as incumbent?
Good question, Daryl.
He is considered an incumbent. It doesn't get listed on the ballot.
Oh, okay.
They don't indicate on the ballot who's the incumbent. But they do indicate in the newspaper and in all of the other...
The current person who was just listed a point.
Now, I already have issues with the whole electoral process period, the whole voting process, because most of the people who vote, are almost all of the vote, at least 70% of the people who vote, are only going to vote one way, and that is bigger, more government. So I have issue with that. The second one I had issue with was shall the district remove the authority from the school board to suggest yes or no on added warrants, meaning the school board must remain completely unbiased on all ballots and documents. The right of the individual school board members to voice personal opinions shall not be infringed upon. Last year there were 3 warrants on the book And at the very bottom, they're really long, lengthy warrants, and they usually are full of all kinds of legalese. But at the very bottom, in parentheses,
The school board recommends a yes vote. So
what you have here is you have less than 1% of the people who actually go to these events and actually listen to the material.
Less than 1%. Less than 1% of 1%.
It's less than 1%. It's like 80 people last year. Of 18,000 registered voters?
yes.
I don't know what that is. Can you do the math? So anyway,
I'm going to go by population because.
so anyways,
Well,
you get these people. You get how many voted? 1,700 people, 2,000 people.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
They never even heard these conversations or these arguments except maybe through the grapevine.
Right.
They go to the voters' ballot.
They may have read a couple of articles in the Keene Sentinel about the discussion that took place.
They don't know what's going on, but they get to this long, lengthy warrant, and they don't. Well, I don't know what to vote. But then at the very bottom it says, "Oh, but the school board recommends that I vote yes on this." So you know what? I'm a good school board.
Less than 0.5%.
Yeah, that's what I said. Didn't I? I had the.
You said less than 1% of 1%.
No, he said that. I said less than 1%.
I was wrong. We were both
You
wrong.
stuttered the 1%.
We're both idiots until we did the math.
You guys are horrible. So, anyways,
So,
they conflict.
yes. So I found the RSAs. The one that says that the school board must fill vacancies is RSA 197:26. That says the school board shall fill vacancies occurring on the board and in other district offices, except for moderator, until the next annual meeting of the district. In case of the vacancy of the entire membership of the board, or the remaining members are unable to agree upon an appointment, the selectmen, upon application of one or more voters in the district, shall fill the vacancies.
There is only one reason why I like this particular law, and that is because elections cost money.
Yes.
That's it. But I've already stated the problems I have with these people picking their buddies.
Right. And when the election...
There's no way to get rid of the good old boy club.
When the election is 3 months later, then have the special election during the regular election.
Just leave the seat empty for 3 months. It's not going to kill you.
Right.
And then wait.
But then they couldn't vote, with the full board one way or another.
Right now, all they've done is they selected another good old boy to help with the cause, and it's just made it that much more difficult to unseat them. Of course, guess who fucking wrote that law? Members of the good old boy club. We already know that Chris Roberts, who is a city councilor, a state rep, and on the school board.
He is such a slimy little government person.
And he's
You could tell.
and you know what?
so slick.
And he's so. You know what the worst part about it is? He's so nice too.
sucks
He's
up-
so
yeah,
nice.
Exactly.
And he fucking
You
does
could
all.
just tell.
Except your taxes are going up every single year because of Chris Roberts.
How much of he's taking home as a paycheck?
Not
All
that
the
much.
jobs.
Maybe what does school board make? $2,000 a year.
School board is 2,000. City council's
2,000.
2,000.
State rep is 100.
Is 100 a year.
Okay.
Plus
$4,100.
plus mileage. So every time that he has to travel to Concord, he gets $55.
Where I lived in Florida, school board was a full-time position. They get $100,000 a year.
Yeah, this is not going to happen in New Hampshire for a long time.
Plus, he gets his pension from
That's
the
kinda
Marine
good to know,
Corps.
though.
Yeah, and by the way, and I had to remind all of our listeners and viewers who are not in here in New Hampshire. All we ever say is bad things about where we live at. It's fucking worse where you live. I can promise you it's worse where you live. The only difference is that we have people here who are on the ball, and we're taking them to task, man. I fucking refuse to just hand over my money to these assholes. They're gonna have to work for it, man. I'm gonna be the thorn in their side. All I want to do, hey, you want to get rid of me? Let me opt out. Right now, let me fucking opt out, and I will leave you guys alone. But until then, no, you're not getting rid of me, man. You're not fucking getting rid of me. Every time you pass a new law, every time you scramble to fix the issues that I'm going to throw at you, you're only making me stronger. And guess who looks good at the end? Guess
Every fucking year, it's going to cost you money until it's
Guess who looks good at the end? Guess who looks like the victim? Guess who looks like the oppressor?
Every fucking property owner in this town that I've talked to that actually owns property fucking bitches about the taxes. I went to a yard sale last year, and the guy was like, I have to move out of the state because he was retired and it was costing him. His house looked like it was worth like $250,000. You know how much taxes that is here?
It's like $7,000.
$7,000 a year just in taxes. Never mind any other expenses, mortgage. Maybe his place is paid off, but I don't know. That is a huge fucking burden.
Maybe he worked his whole life to pay that building off. And now he wants to retire and not work anymore. Guess what? He's got to pay every fucking year for the rest of his life.
People retired don't pay taxes anyway, so no wonder they fucking moved to Florida.
Well, they can get out of it. Yeah, exactly. You're right.
In Florida, they have a $50,000 homestead exemption if you live in your own house, so you don't even have to pay. If your house is $100,000, you're only paying $50,000 worth of taxes. And it's like you end up paying $1,000 a year in taxes. That's nothing compared to $7,000.
Which one?
And that includes everything. That's even including school and shit.
And the other one, and this is the one that I really have a major problem with, is the one where the school board recommends a yes vote on this.
Mm-hmm.
And
what does the actual law say?
Sure enough, the actual law, RSA 32:5, Roman numeral V, when any purpose of appropriation submitted by a governing body or by petition appears in the warrant as part of a special warrant article, Section A, the article shall contain a notation of whether or not the appropriation is recommended by the governing body. And if there is a budget committee, a notation of whether or not it is recommended by the budget committee.
It's criminal, dude. It's absolutely criminal.
They can. No, that's saying they can say it's not recommended too, right?
They can, but they never will. No, unless it's my budget. Unless it's my budget.
All of the budgets that are recommended or put on the ballot by petition that were submitted by Conan, I can guarantee you will all say the school board recommends a no vote.
So
shall. It's not like a may.
Right.
Okay.
So it's just one more way that the good old boys have entrenched themselves, and it has become that much more difficult to make change.
And
because everyone fucking hates change, especially these guys. And if you want to say get a new board member in or to change laws,
I hope if you are own property, you make the right decision. You go out and vote your ass. You could save $500 a year just by voting.
Well, here's the problem.
Taking 10 minutes out of your time.
Except here's the problem. We have to get the word out that this year, this ballot will be different than every other year before then.
When's this?
It's in March, 12th or 11th?
11th.
Well, this primary thing, when is that? Like
this meeting is, there's a meeting on the 14th, and then there's a meeting in February that I don't remember the date. And the actual election.
I don't even know if they've even come up with the February date yet.
They have the date.
Okay.
I just don't remember what it is.
And then the actual official ballot voting.
The election is March 11th.
And so it behooves us and anyone who's listening to get the word out there that this ballot is going to look much different. You're not going to have that one option or two options where the budget goes up or it goes a whole lot up. You're actually going to have the option of capping it at zero or capping it at
a $0 increase.
A zero increase, or a 1% reduction, or a 5% reduction.
And let's put a little notation to the $0 increase. That's a $0 increase from the last year's proposed budget, which would still be, a damn near $2 million increase because of the big fucking surplus.
Well, actually, this is before they raised it by $50,000, because remember they had that meeting after we talked, and they decided that they would increase the budget by $50,000 to keep I think 1.5 jobs, or maybe it was two part-time jobs. I'm not sure.
This is before the big giant surplus that they're going to wind up with, because they always wind up with a surplus.
Good point.
They always spend it, don't
Which, by the way, is all right. So let's talk about this warrant. This is one of the warrants that is most important to me. Shall the district refund all year-end unassigned general funds surplus to the taxpayers as a deduction from the next property bill and not be carried forward to the upcoming year's school budget? As it stands, the way they do business these days is any surplus monies gets rolled into the next year's budget.
You know what's going to happen, though?
Here's the problem.
You know what's going to happen is they're going to find a way to spend the rest of that money.
All right, and Daryl actually mentioned that when I wrote this up, and we'll get to that. But here's the problem they have right now. They have a surplus every single year. They roll it into the upcoming year's budget, except by that time, everyone has forgotten that there was a surplus.
Right.
And then guess what they never mention during the new year's budget?
But when they have
never
to raise the money every
They never
year.
mention that there was a surplus at all. So they're like, oh, we're only raising the budget by 1%. And in this case, this year, they already proposed a budget increase of $1 million. Except guess what it isn't? There was a $2.7 million surplus from last year, so it's not going up by $1 million, it's going up by $3.7 million because they still had money left over. So they're fucking lying to you. They fucking tricked that money. They're sketchy. They fucking tricked that money into the New Year's budget.
Money.
They hide the money. So this warrant...
It's like hide the sausage, but nowhere near as fun.
So this warrant specifies that the money be returned every year, not in the form of a check. I don't want checks being sent out because that costs money. I just want it to be...
if only we had
a line item on the tax bill. So instead of saying, Jay, you owe us $5,000.
If only we had the resources, and maybe 5 years from now we'd have enough volunteer power or funds, whatever. Praise Bitcoin. But to get a list of all the property tax owners and say, this is what you would be owed, this year if the surplus.
Yeah, if you got a memo that says, oh, by the way, if you had gotten your surplus back, you would have gotten an extra $300 back.
Vote for this in the next election.
Maybe I should have put that in there. So, they usually do. So they're saying, oh, and by the way, so a house of $200,000 will pay this much in taxes. I can do something similar, saying a house of $200,000 would make this much back.
Would get a surplus or get
with a
this much deducted from their property taxes.
Yeah.
So what was last year's budget?
The last year's budget was 62. 333,500.
Okay, let's say 62.
Yeah, that'll work. So anyways, they in Caitlin Mulhers, the Slantinel reporter, she wrote that they are already trying to fight this one and saying that it conflicts with some state law, which I haven't seen yet. Have you seen anything that says that the surplus monies have to be rolled into the New Year's budget? Or are they just making it up?
This actually doesn't say that the money doesn't get rolled in. It just says that there's a line item that specifies this is the surplus. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to list that. They don't want to let people know this is how much surplus we had from last year.
That's right. And Jay brought up a good point, which you had already brought up earlier. If this does go through, now they will have no incentive to keep any kind of surplus, and they will want to spend all of that money in the previous year.
Remember what happened over the summer,
just like every other government agency.
Well,
by the way.
Remember what happened over the summer when the Keene Sentinel came out with the thing about the $2.6 million surplus,
mm-hmm.
and Chris Roberts, who oddly enough is the fiscal conservative on the school board, said, I wish I would have known because we wanted to do this, and this with the money, and we were told that we would only have a $900,000 surplus. Where'd the other $1.8 million come from? We could have bought all of these laptops.
Yep.
And I did the math, and they could have bought 2 iPads for every student.
Really?
Yes. With the money that they had left over, they could have spent all of that to buy 2 iPads for every student.
Yeah, but are they government laptops, iPads, or are they?
They bought some iPads, and they wanted to buy more.
Yeah.
So if you own a $200,000 house in Keene, and property taxes, 60% of the property tax goes to the school.
62%.
Well, okay, so this is a very conservative amount. $154. It was the surplus.
So you would save $154,
right,
on your next year's property tax.
Correct.
Because of the surplus.
And that's a population of 23,000.
That's all we're wanting is for the school board to actually put a line item on your property tax bill letting you know how much is being reduced from your bill because of the surplus.
And you know what? It's not so important to me to get the money back. I want the money back, of course. But what is more important to me is that the people know exactly what is taking place. That the education department is not spending this much. They're spending this much. The budget is not going up by ones and twos. It's going up by double that every single year. And they're hiding it in the lines. They're hiding it between the lines.
How many students we have here in this district?
30.
1,400?
No,
that's just in the high school.
I think it's 3,200, which brings the money to $19,000 per student. Last year's budget.
What was the number you just said? 3,200?
3,200. So let me just say, I know that it's higher in other places like New York and shit like that.
Look, okay, remember they had that Stossel School special where they said there was, I forget which country it was, but I think it was like $9,000 a year. And every kid went to a private school, right?
That's if you take just the instructional cost for the Keene School Board, then it breaks down to $9,000 per.
$28 million. We could. For half the price, we could farm this out to private school, have a better schooling for the fucking kids. Not the fucking kids, but
those good, great kids.
We could have.
There's a private school in Swansea, and they're only like the tuition's like $2,000 for high schoolers. $2,000 a year.
What's the Waldorf school?
I haven't looked. I haven't looked them. Maybe we can look that up. We'll look that up at the break.
Even this extreme, it's still half the fucking price.
Yeah.
But you have to drive your kids to school.
And.
And what about poor kids?
$4 million worth of school administrator.
What about poor kids who live in trailers who can't pay $2,000 a year?
Well, I don't know. The state already provides welfare or something.
How about fuck that? How about
you know what?
How about charity?
You know what?
How about charity?
They'll be fucking competing to get those kids, so they'll have their own damn buses busting that shit.
How about charity?
Yeah.
How about
too? But
how about all these old people?
Let's be realistic.
Charity sounds like the name of a stripper.
Yeah. How about all these old people who don't have to pay $7,000 in taxes every year, who are able to keep that much, or half of that, or 62% of that, or 52% of that? Now they have all this excess money, and guess what? They're going to die soon. What are they going to do with all that money? Oh my God! Look at all these projects they can fund.
I'm not even depending on that because they probably won't give it. They'll spend it on something more reasonable.
Old people? No,
whatever.
They can't take it with them.
Old people do like to donate money to schools,
especially
so that the school will name things after them.
Exactly. At least having a plaque above the damn door that says "Here are all Grandma Smith and Jenkins and all these people who gave this much money," and there could be different plaques too.
Granny Smith already left us with the wonderment of good apples. We don't need to name school things after
that would be
her
confusing.
as well.
That'd be confusing, wouldn't it? So, any Granny Smiths out there who are charitable, go ahead and change your name because the Granny Smith is not going to look good on a plaque. It's going to confuse people. They're going to think that
I like apples.
They're going to think someone donated apples to the school, and that just can't happen.
I like turtles.
Like, what? I just thought of turtles and yeah.
All right. No, there's a video. I'll show it to you at a later point.
All right. Hey. We've got 5 minutes. What do you want to talk about still? You want to talk about this other warrant that also bothers me? Last year, the last warrant out of the 7 warrants that they provided that they put on the ballot, one of them was very tricksome, and I didn't even understand it at the time. I don't know how many people did understand it, but here's what it said. It said that the school district of Keene will be able to hold on to 2.5% of the current year's net assessment as like an emergency fund or whatever, or to pay for general funds. And if they didn't use it, it would also go to pay for a reduction in the next year's budget.
Right.
Okay.
Which never happens, right?
Well, here's how this. All right. So 2.5% doesn't sound like a whole lot, unless you have a $2.7 million surplus, and 2.5% of the net assessment, which is $62 million, comes out to $1.5 million.
So they have to. You're saying they basically raised this year's budget.
Well, no. Well, we're going to find out on Tuesday how they actually spent that money. So, anyways, from the $2.7 million, they get to keep $1.5 fucking million to do whatever as emergency fund.
Hold on to it.
Tuesday, I'll be asking because I haven't forgotten
Gotta
about it.
go to Walmart,
I'm going
get
to ask
some
them
milk.
where that money went, how they spent it, what they did with it, how much of
We've
that.
got it in the emergency fund over here.
Yeah,
and
whether
we're not
they've
going to touch it.
Yeah, whether they've
We need to
created.
go to a conference in Vegas and
Whether they've created a new emergency fund or whatnot, we don't. I'm not sure. We'll be talking about it next week, of course, because that's a lot of fuck. That's a big ass blank check. That they,
This actually reminds me of something that happened in Birmingham, Alabama back in 2007 when I was running for mayor down there. It came out that there were millions of dollars. Wow, you fucking fuck. There were millions of dollars that were unaccounted for from the school board. Oh, we got a couple million that we don't really know what it got spent on. Let's just list it as miscellaneous.
This is as iPads.
They weren't buying iPads in 2007.
You're right. What? All right. Where did the money go? Did anyone
They don't
find out?
know.
textbooks.
No, they don't know.
All right.
So I made the suggestion during a mayoral debate
Staples.
that it's funny that you mentioned Staples. I actually suggested, hell, we don't know where the money went. Maybe people went on a whale-watching cruise and called it, some science class. But since the city gives money to the school board, and that's how it happens down south.
There's actually a lot of controversy because they go on these conferences. They're actually like vacations.
Yeah.
And spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
I said every dime spent by the school board should be accounted for. Nothing should go as miscellaneous. If you spend $20,000 on Staples, put in your budget that we spent $20,000 on Staples.
Which is the point you brought up last week about the whole alcohol bureau. What is their title?
The New Hampshire liquor.
And how much money is on their unaccessed inventory?
Non-inventory assets of $15 million after a $16 million depreciation, which means that they claim $31 million worth of non-inventory assets.
It's a lot of ladders
Lots
and
of
forklifts
land,
and
definitely.
brooms.
A lot of land, a lot of building, like $15 million worth of building. Or $22 million worth of buildings.
There's like $10 million for those things on the side of the interstate, maybe.
Daryl's going to find out. The 91A is coming to
How
him.
much they make for those little things? How many millions of dollars a year?
I don't know.
They
Stop and booze up.
They obviously don't make enough because they're having to make their own cheap ass vodka in a New Hampshire bottle to pay for flags.
They're doing that to restore flags.
I swear to God, if you ever think a bottle of vodka was made in China, go into the liquor store and look at this limited edition Live Free or Die Free State New Hampshire vodka bottle.
No, it's the Old Man on the Mountain vodka
Whatever.
bottle.
It looks like it came out like a dollar bin at Target or something like that.
The bottle looks like a crap of shit.
Yeah,
Live free or die of kidney failure.
It's a brown, stupid-looking bottle.
like people commit suicide in China painting this bottle.
Oh, shit. Hey, we got to take a break, guys.
All right, good show.
We got to fill our drinks up and use the bathroom, and we're going to leave you with a song while we do all that nonsense. This is All Bizarre. The song is called Fire Breeze.
I thought it was Al Bizzari.
I don't think it's Al Bizzari. I think it's
Al Bizarre.
I think it's all bizarre. I think it's all bizarre. Hey,
Al.
Hey,
Al.
no, and look at all the other spellings. This is young people texting right here. This is all wrong. I think it's all bizarre. It's all bizarre, bro. It's all bizarre.
I'll admit that it's fucking bizarre.
Let me just say that for a little
Al Bizzari, Fire Briaz.
I'll just say that this is not a Skrillex song, even though everyone for the past at least 4 years have believed that this is a Skrillex
If
song.
you have to say it's not a Skrillex song, it's a motherfucking Skrillex song, you fucking bastard.
Here's what happened. Here's what
Here's the
happened.
drop.
4 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever, I don't know. Some guy uploaded this brand song. We were talking about intellectual property last week. This would have been great to have played last week when Marcus was on. when it came to the people stealing other people's content. What happened is someone uploaded this group song, except they called it a Skrillex, Dead Mouse, whatever remix to get fucking hits. Now that kind of fucking steal. Now that's god awful. That guy needs to be driven out into the desert to die.
That's definitely fraud.
That's definitely fraud. So, anyways, it's not a Skrillex song, even though everyone in the goddamn country thinks it is.
Then it's a Skrillex song.
But if you do go to that YouTube channel, what has like 1 million hits, versus what, 268,000? That's horrible.
268,000. That ain't shit.
You go to
quit fucking YouTube. You ain't shit.
Oh, you're hurting me. But anyways, you go to the Skrillex version of this, which is not a Skrillex song, and has like 1 million plus hits. Yeah.
Chris Cantwell ever got 268,000, he'd be like, I'm buying liquor today and getting drunk.
Wait, if he got 2 hits, he'd say, I'm buying liquor today, I'm getting drunk.
Oh, God.
Party time.
I'm getting fucked
Hey.
up.
This is All Bizarre Fire Breeze. We'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back to hour 2 of Black Sheep Rising. And
Hour number 2?
How long have you felt you've been here?
Like 12?
Oh, because you just been up all day. Oh, but you don't have that crazy schedule anymore, so I don't feel bad for you anymore. I'm the guy here that only got 3.5 hours of sleep today.
Is Gerald getting enough sleep these days?
I think so.
This is the day. I'm like a demon right now. I'm like a vampire.
Why?
Because I only got 3.5 hours. I've been awake for.
Is this where your demons hide?
I think my demons are more likely to get out of me when I've had less sleep, and I'm not as prepared to keep them contained.
Right. So this is where your demons hide.
This is when I'm honest. This is when all the honesty comes out. Jay tried to. You made a mistake of actually trying to go and.
Don't eat the kitty.
You just said let her come, dude. Just let her come.
I was just gonna say I was just molesting her, but then.
Yeah, well, they don't like it like that.
Mine does. If you don't like manhandling my cat, she's like, I don't care about you.
Well, she likes to be manhandled, but only after she gets to know you and she's safe with you.
Well,
but
The safe word is meow.
Well, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it?
I like the kitty. I was always worried and concerned about taking on a feral cat that she would always have. She always has those remnants of being just crazy wild.
After 8 weeks, that's it. That's what I heard. I mean, they're always going to be like some wild.
8 weeks, is that it?
Yep.
Well,
they don't have like human interaction in that when they're a kitten.
Well, as you can see, I mean, she's definitely very catty. You know, she's the epitome of.
She comes in here every time, like those first 25 episodes. She was never like. She came with like that vent on the door.
I think the biggest issue was the dog.
Really?
Yeah.
And he was taking all the laps.
Except for mine.
And she just, she's, as you can see, she's in here, but she wants you to come to her. She's a stupid cat. So
she ain't stupid. She knows she's smart.
So we've got a whole bunch of news and warrants and this stuff going. We've got all that down your throats. I know you guys are getting tired of that. So let's play some...
So did you hear about the website that began taking Bitcoin last week?
You mean Overstock.com?
Yes. Did you hear the good news? Or what I at least think
I thought the good news was that he was planning on 6 months and decided that he just wanted to...
All of a sudden, out of the blue, pretty much unannounced.
Mm-hmm.
And within that first day, brought in over $126,000 worth of Bitcoin sales. Yeah. Wired magazine did some calculations and figured that is approximately 4% of the average daily intake for Overstock.
That's very good news.
Yeah.
Because of course we see this because we're monitoring it, but guess who else monitors that kind of thing?
Ben Bernanke.
And the competing companies.
Yes.
eBay, Amazon. I would love Amazon.
Someone tweeted to Newegg asking if they would accept Bitcoin,
mm-hmm.
and the person or persons in charge of handling the Twitter for Newegg said, "We are looking into it." So that has been interpreted several different ways. It's been interpreted by some to mean that the person that handles the Twitter account is looking into whether or not Newegg accepts or will be accepting Bitcoin. It has been interpreted by others to mean that management at brain fart. Management at Newegg.
I'm the one who's drinking. I don't know why you're...
is looking into whether or not they will accept Bitcoin.
He's had like 2 sips of it, I think. What are you drinking there, Jay?
Bourbon. Rebel Yell.
Old man's drink.
This is the only size you can buy in New Hampshire, by the way. Don't think I'm an alcoholic.
I've got this weird
and
thing
this was
to where
$10 after rebate,
my brain occasionally doesn't work properly.
Well, welcome to my world. But so, anyways, so yeah, excellent news.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because if you listen to any of our Liberty programs,
Excellent.
this is all this is one of the things we talk about constantly, and what this can lead to, the unregulated money, that cannot be inflated, that is digital and that is easy to use. The ease, just the ease by itself. Prime example. So, anyways, in Colorado, the legalized weed has gone into full effect.
Yes.
Except, guess what? There are banks that will not take weed money. So you have weed sellers with the surplus of monies that they can't do anything with except keep it in their homes, in their places of business, which could be very unsafe.
Yes.
So, well, hold on now. Bitcoin, there's no problem with keeping Bitcoin in any kind of amount anywhere. What's to stop these sellers from saying, all right, hey, look, guys, if you spend more than $50, we need you to actually make your purchases in Bitcoins. Here's how you do it. They can have laptops set up in the room.
I dream of
They can have
I can purchase legal cannabis from Corner News using Bitcoin.
Hell yeah. So anyways, in Colorado, so they have so it's not the red light district, it's the green light district.
Right.
It's Weed Street. And they have a ATM. They have a Bitcoin ATM set up right there at the beginning of the street.
You're saying they do?
No, I'm being a visionary right now.
Okay.
I'm seeing the future.
I just wanted to make sure that you weren't saying this is what happened or this is what's happening.
Someone's watching this right now, and they are calling up their city council to get Weed Street, legal. That would be great. Why hasn't it been done already? And with an Bitcoin ATM set up at the opening of the street, so when the outsiders come in, when the people out in the woods who aren't selling or who aren't growing their own weed come in to buy some legal weed, they can turn their FRNs into some Bitcoins and everyone's the better for it.
If you ever driven to Denver, if you ever driven to Colorado, as I think it's on 70. I just imagine that towards Denver, just see rows and rows of pot plants growing in the sun. Instead of corn or soybeans.
I don't know. The legislation here in New Hampshire that would tax and regulate cannabis would allow an individual to grow 6 plants. They could not have more than 3 that are mature at any time. And
really, they're going to enforce that shit?
And the plants would not...
What is mature?
Dude, they don't even know the difference between a fucking weed plant and a tomato plant.
Is mature when it's growing seeds or something? So as long as you never let it grow seeds, which you never anyway, right?
Yeah.
If
you're doing doing a good job, once you let the seeds grow, the plant might likely
die. Legislation also says that the plants cannot be visible from a public area without the use of binoculars, telescope, or aircraft.
What?
And they must be secure. So you could have plants in a secure greenhouse in your backyard, but you can't have them
greenhouse
just inside of a fence. So
that's still a whole lot of...
If this gets passed here in New Hampshire, you couldn't drive down the street and see somebody growing a crop of...
That's still a whole lot of regulations.
It smells like a pot farm. I can't live next to it. You need,
I didn't say that it's very minimal regulation.
Yeah.
I did say it's a tax and regulate bill.
Yeah, and I am not a fan of... And of course, people have been
I'm not a fan, but this is better than what it is now to where they're incarcerating people for growing their own cannabis.
For growing a plant.
I'm not for minarchy, but minarchy is better than what we have now.
Yes. Have you seen some of the... what I'm doing with these warrants is as a prime example of minarchy, and there's a lot of fucking libertarians, anarchists, what types out there who would see what I'm doing as just a lost cause. All I'm doing is hacking at the branches. And every time I do something like this, I remind myself, and it bothers me, that the hacking of the branches is it better, or
You know
am
what?
I just fighting the inevitable?
They can sit in their fucking little internet, kingdoms there and bitch at you all you want.
They can keep fighting the
You're
good fight.
doing something.
They can keep fighting the good fight from their
Even
couch,
if
from
it's
this,
useless.
from the safety of their
More
couches.
people are going to pay attention to this than are going to pay attention to somebody that's doing 20-hour-long YouTube videos about what he thinks that, the minarchist society or Molyneux-esque society would be like.
This is true. We're living the dream. We're living the fight. We're fighting the fight, living the dream.
You're
Kinda.
going to get more people to actually think about what's going on
You
than
can take one person that sees this show in the community that has connections throughout all the community, and they start talking to the people they know
Yeah.
and say, "Look, this really makes a lot of sense," etc., etc. Then one day you're going to have enough votes
One day.
to start making a little bit of difference at a time.
But
That's what it's going to take in the meantime, is going through the system, no matter what. Even if it's just convincing, the other people in town that, we kind of make sense, and I don't want to pay this much more in taxes. We're not getting the value for our money with the public education compared to other districts throughout the country, etc.
it's definitely true. I don't
So
know.
we can be principled and not do a damn thing, but sit on our asses.
if you
and
just
twiddle our
pretend
thumbs.
if you just pretend that the U.S. government doesn't exist,
Right.
then drone bombs won't be dropped on children in Yemen. Just think good thoughts.
If we could
Puppy dogs and kitty cats and unicorns.
we could reduce the budget by the school budget by half and get more quality education for our kids, that would be a great success.
but you have to also realize the whole education system is not really ramped up to do what it should be doing, which is making kids better human beings. It's daycare.
It's daycare and
prison.
Supporting the salaries of union teachers. So they can pay the union's cut.
It
that
is
salary.
preparing them. It is totally it totally revolves around preparing children for academia, for going
And
to
then
college.
These jobs that they're never going to have because they don't exist anymore.
It doesn't prepare them for
What are
anything.
these kids doing when they graduate Keene State College? Going to living with their parents?
They're going back to live with their parents, play video games.
I saw something on Facebook a couple days ago that I thought was really funny and very fitting. It said, I was told I should go to college because if I didn't, I would wind up working at McDonald's. Now I can't find a job, and everybody asks, what, are you too good to work at McDonald's?
Yes.
Listen, just today I saw this. This is a liberal academic guy. His name is Sir Ken Robinson. This was back in like 2005 or 7
Must
or something
I
like
call
that.
him sir?
I don't know. He is kind of surly. He has very nice, very nice dialect. It's enjoyable to listen to him. The video is like 20 minutes. We're not going to play any of it. And he's a liberal guy, but he is shooting down the entire education scheme.
This appears to be a TED Talk.
Yes, it is.
Which means that there's a possibility that this either has or will appear on Cheshire TV.
That is right.
Because one of the guys that works at Cheshire goes through the TED Talks and pulls some of them out and puts them on.
And if Rick doesn't get on this and put this on, I will, because I really like this. I think that it's very refreshing to hear this from another point of view. Actually, arguing the same arguments that we've been arguing forever. Of course, this was back in 2007. But I definitely recommend, I'll go ahead and link this in the show notes, Sir Ken Robinson, Do Schools Kill Creativity?
Yes.
And they most definitely do. And he's taken it from the artist standpoint. He wants, and yes, it does. I mean, what do? They teach math and sciences and Englishes. And if you're an artist, no, there's no place for you in the world. You get shot down. There's no possible way that you can make money selling art. You need to get in line, son. You need to go work on your math and your English and what. And the truth of the matter is, we're not the same. People are different. You know,
I have to say, back in Florida, the two best teachers I had in elementary school, the most creative, the more made kids want to learn, they quit. And they said it was because of the bureaucracy, and they couldn't teach the way that they have been successful at teaching all these years because they kept, standardizing this curriculum, making them teach only.
it's a one-size-fits-all.
Exactly, and it really says it all there. The best teachers don't want to work for you anymore because you're stopping what was great, making the kids want to be there. You know what I mean, and making them learn.
Education, learning is so powerful. I still to this day love the technology we have at our fingertips, Wikipedia and the internet in general, and all the things. I mean, every time I want to something is that I don't know, and all I have to do is snap my fingers and talk to Skynet, and Skynet's going to tell me my wishes and desires through Google. The whole learning process is so great. The whole light bulb moment when the light bulbs are going off, I fucking love it. But education, sitting in a classroom and being forced to learn some crap that you'll never, ever, 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 ever fucking use in your life, ever? I mean, that's what kills the whole drive to want to learn.
Hold on. I wouldn't say that you won't use the information ever. You can use a lot of that information to surprise your friends at the fact that you know useless things. And if you ever get on Jeopardy, then it would help.
So either when you're playing uselessgames.com or Jeopardy, that's when you need to know these things.
You are taught to comply and to remember.
But overwhelmingly, you only need to know these things if you are actually in that field. And there are people who like
or
science,
if you
or
want
who like
to
math, or who
know
like English.
how life works. Did you see the civics test that was floating around on Facebook a few days ago?
Mm-mm.
Jay,
No.
did you see it?
But I want to make a comment for this. We used to have
Certainly.
this chart, and I used to be in this advanced math program in middle school. I had to be bused to a special school and everything. And we had this chart on the wall of what you would need to like the subjects you were taught in school. It was like an official chart, like somebody had created it and
Kind of like the
sold
food,
it,
kind of like the
it
food
was-
pyramid.
Yeah, it was some through educational catalog. Anyway, basically the only thing that you would ever need to learn to study everything you learned in high school,
Is
middle
English.
school, whatever. You'd have to be a physicist to have to go through all this bullshit they try to teach you all through schooling.
So the only thing you really need in life is English.
That and
To know how to read and write, a little bit of grammar, a little bit of math, a little bit of math skills.
For shit, basic math. Even
Yeah, but you still need to know the concept of how to
Right.
define the percentage of a number and how to.
you definitely need to know that.
So the math that you
should
just,
know that.
the math
Not
that you just, but guess who doesn't know that? I run into people every day who don't know how to find the percentage of a number.
I've bought food at places or even groceries,
Figure out a tip, man.
and
Yeah, there you go.
Let's just say that my grocery bill is $20.12, or no, $18.57, and I pull out a 20. Hold on, I think I have 2 pennies, and then I hand the
Oh,
person
no.
2 pennies,
50
and they're
50
confused.
3 pennies.
No, 57.
2 pennies.
1857. Hand them 2 pennies,
Uh-huh.
$20 and 2 pennies. That way, you're not getting pennies back.
45 cents, $1.
And they get confused. And then they have to punch it in, and then I punched it in wrong, and I get $1.45. Are you sure?
Well, I mean, I can say the same thing about spell check on any word processing unit I've ever used. I can't spell because of spell check. So I mean,
And it's even worse now.
These young cashiers can say the same thing.
Spelling is worse now because people don't even fucking try to spell words right.
I can never spell differently right.
differently.
Definitely.
Defiantly.
I could spell better than I could 5 years ago. I will admit, but spell check has definitely ruined my life.
And it's even worse now because they have it in the browser. You can right-click on a word that has.
Oh, you've seen me.
lines.
Pretty much every Google search I've ever made in the past
Did you mean
Google has maybe Spielberg, so I'm like, oh.
Well, no, I mean
saw
every
that.
single episode I've ever like. Yeah, I typed Indian in wrong the other day, but that's just because I was typing fast. And guess who knew what I was talking about? Google, Skynet. I mean, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
There was this thing floating around, and it's titled "Are You Smarter Than an Educator?" And it is a civic literacy test. And if you click on this and go to the test, after you take the test, you can click on something and it will show you the percentages of people that got the answers correct, and then the percentages of people that are public officials and teachers that got it correct. And on average, this is what I think is very sad. On average, the general public scored 20% better than public officials and teachers.
What's the pool of public officials who are actually taking this?
I don't know. It doesn't give names.
And how many people actually take this test? What kinds of people actually take this test from the general public? People who would already think they're already kind of smart.
I don't know.
I don't think Joe Blow is going to take this test.
Maybe not.
I didn't even.
Although I did say that.
I think the Daryl types are going to take, because I didn't even see this.
I'm not very.
Jay didn't see this.
I saw it, but it was like the first page is like, I don't know two of these things for sure.
There were one of my friends went through and gave percentages, and I think most of the test, roughly half of the people got any individual question correct. And I think it was somewhere near 30% of public officials and teachers would get the questions correct.
Right.
I took the test, got a 93.94, which means that I missed 2 questions. I got 31 out of 33 correct.
Good for you, Daryl.
Yeah.
What does that mean? How does that
What does that mean?
what does that all mean? Does that mean you're smart?
This boy
Yes.
needs therapy.
Well,
Psychosomatic.
now that you've taken a test, I might have to just take it just to be competitive, because that's how I am.
Maybe you should take it right now.
That's how I do.
On the show.
I'm not going to do
And
that.
tell people your answers.
I am not going to do that.
Do for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Long
exactly.
test.
This is a
You just
podcast.
think of this test. It's very hard.
33 questions,
It's no
25 minutes until we do the what did you learn? Maybe you would learn something.
Fuck that. I think even the 5 people who watch this show would not appreciate me taking a test, a visual test.
It's not a visual
The
test.
academics that would
Unless someone reads
appreciate
out
it are
the-
not watching
You
the
could
show.
not
read
taking it.
you
I'm
could
not taking
read
it.
the
I'm not taking it.
question.
Why are you trying to diss me? Why are you putting me on the spot like this? Why are you doing this to me? Have we talked about everything?
Mostly.
No, we haven't talked about anything.
Don't use your male privilege.
Oh, that
to rape
the
Conan's
music
mind.
thing. You wanted to talk about music.
We only have
Background music.
We have 24 minutes to talk about it. Let's do that. All right.
Yeah.
So this has always been a problem that has plagued me. It has absolutely plagued me. This is a rant for you all if you're not already aware that the direction I'm going in with this. There are people in this world who think that it's cool and all right and acceptable to play their music out loud for everyone else in the world to hear. Now, some people are playing it on a big music box where the actual audio is clear and discernible, and you actually hear what they're saying. But most of the time, these fuckers are playing their music through their little iPhones or their Androids or whatever. So you have this tinny, crappy, no bass, that kind of nonsense.
This shit.
And and I'm trying to determine what really bothers me, because that is the worst. Because someone might be playing music on their boombox and it's not as bad, or the music might be coming out of the speakers in the ceiling. But when motherfuckers are playing their music on their iPhones, and I can't, and I think it is that I can't hear the music. I can only hear the, and I'm not really sure what I'm listening to, and it just annoys the fuck out of me. I mean, it really annoys me to no end Even if it's my own music, even if it's music that I like. But
So what about people, and I'm sure you've seen some of Garrett's videos where
I've already talked to him about this.
where he's got the radio turned up really loud coming through his speaker, and it's right next to the camera, and it's just loud and annoying.
The only problem with that is, and we've talked about this, and he has said that if anyone says anything, he'll immediately turn it off. But that's also a problem because a lot of people don't say anything,
right?
Even if it does bother him. The problem with those videos is when he's playing some reggae, when he's doing his parking enforcement, it's a perfect fit. It seems like he's taking that music and he's overlaid it on the video, and I don't even know if a lot of people to realize he's actually playing it live.
Yes,
it's such a perfect fit that it works all right. And by the way, I like the reggae sound, and I think that it's soothing. It sounds like something you might hear in a store or an elevator and all. I think it's soothing to everybody. But there is some types of music out there that just clash. I don't want to fucking hear country. I don't want to fucking hear.
You live in New Hampshire?
I don't want to hear. Well, actually, I hear more rap coming out of people's little iPhones than I do the country. But yeah, I hear all types. I don't want to fucking hear Nickelback.
I don't even know what that sounds like.
It's kind of like country rock.
Really?
It's horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. And every song sounds the same. But fucking regardless.
Well, that's country begin.
I don't want to hear anybody's
Modern
music.
country.
That is the rudest thing you can do, to actually force other people. How can you take that poll every time you go into a situation and ask everybody to say, "Hey, look, is it all right if I listen to some rap?" Because they never fucking ask you that. They just fucking start listening to it. So you have to take the poll every time some new situation occurs where a new person walks into the room, or you walk into a new situation where you walk into someone else's room and you're playing your damn music, and you have to ask. You should have to ask everybody, "Hey, is it all right if I play my music?"
What annoys me,
but they don't.
And this is sort of an extension of that, is if I'm driving down the road and I'm stuck at a traffic light and there's a car next to me or behind me or in front of me that has their music turned up so loud to where all I'm hearing is and I can't even hear what's coming out of my own speakers.
Mm-hmm.
That annoys the fuck out of me.
Well, and here's so why does it bother me so much? Most of the time at work, the reason I like my job so much is because the whole evening, essentially 90% of my evening can be invested in audiobooks or in podcasts. So there's a certain, and I really, really love that aspect. But if some guy on 2 aisles over is listening to blasting his fucking music, and so all he hears is like this background fuzz that's bleeding into my through my earbuds into my, and through whatever I'm listening to, that's too loud. That's amazing. So here's the big question: what's going through these people's minds? Why would they even
maybe it's a cultural thing.
They don't think about you.
It's a young people thing. So I did
be like the old man and say, "Hey, that's disrespectful, my shit. Don't fucking play that."
And the worst part about it is when I actually have to say, when I actually have to break that barrier down and actually have to leave my aisle and fucking say something like, "Hey, look, hey, listen, dude, your music offends me," and that's the worst thing because that just now you're just a narc. Now you're just a fucking now you're no longer that cool long-haired rebel.
Yeah.
Now you're part of now you're the man. You've just become the fucking man, and I don't want to be the man.
Because you never beat Ric Flair, you can't be the man. And to be the man, you got to beat the man.
So yeah, I have to leave my quiet sanctuary, and I have to say, "Hey, look, dude, your music is too loud," or "Your music offends me," or "Hey, look, you're a fucking douchebag. You need to turn that shit down because you might love your music. You might think that your music is the greatest music in the world, but let me tell you something. Your music sucks cock."
Wow.
Yeah, your music. Your fucking Nickelback.
You be the man to me, too. I'm playing the fucking Beach Boys loud on Main Street while I'm Robin Hood. He's like, "Fuck you, your music sucks cock." I'm like...
Actually, the Beach Boys, most of them do suck cock, right? But I mean...
Most of them are dead, you insensitive fuck.
I don't care about those guys. But no, I mean... like I said, going back to the whole elevator music, there are types of music that are soothing and they're not as in your face. But overall,
Music.
I listen to earbuds. Everyone knows that I'm an earbud guy. I listen to my music every
before
week.
the show. I was in Home Depot the other day, music, whatever. I don't know where
Home
it's
Depot,
coming from.
Home Depot plays music, and it's kind
They
of
were
a
playing the explicit version, so every couple seconds it was like fuck.
what?
Yeah.
What song?
I don't remember.
I know they play Dido in there sometimes. Every time I hear that.
What the fuck is a Dido?
Dido is an English girl who is really hot, and has a pretty
Wasn't
voice.
that like on the Pure Moods album or something like that?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A lot of people sample her song. Eminem sampled one of her songs. But
Eminem samples every damn thing.
all right, so I guess that's
sampled
a
some
bad.
M&Ms last night.
Were they peanut M&Ms?
No.
Or regular?
Regular. I voted for the blue M&M. You can thank me for that.
Good job, son. Good job.
What?
So all right,
What?
Did you know they had a vote to change the M&M color from brown? It was either blue, purple, or pinkish.
Pinkish?
When the hell was this?
This was like in the 90s.
Pinkish with a brown center.
Oh yeah, I remember
You could,
that.
like, you can call on the
vaguely
phone.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think
Who the
of?
fuck wouldn't pick blue?
What do you think of a pinkish skin with a brown center? That M&M can never exist. That's just never meant to be. I would have a hard time eating that M&M. I might have to be that. I might be that rich rock star who's like, all right, hey, look, give me every M&M except the pink with the brown
You
center
know what
M&Ms.
one of my earliest memories was probably like 3 years old. I found a bag of M&Ms and I sorted them out by color. And I ate the whole fucking bag.
You're a horrible, horrible individual.
And I think I ate Tums that day too.
Did you sort those
They were
out by
delicious.
color as well?
I think so. They were the multicolored fruit flavor ones. They're delicious.
You're a strange little man.
You
So,
had those? They're good.
That flashback was a little late. I wanted to take that back to the.
Mr. Conan.
Oh, well, let me finish this though. So anyway,
Yes.
so all the research took me to the psychology of music.
Research about assholes that
in stores.
don't use earbuds.
Well, no, there's lots of, believe it or not, there are just as many complaints about people who listen to the music out loud as there are of dogs barking and it's just one of those etiquette things that really bothers people. It gets under people's skins, and some people it just doesn't bother at all. But anyways, somehow or another,
you can't complain about your property values though at your job, right?
yes, I'm not allowed to do that because it's not really my money. It's
You're lowering my salary compensation.
It's society's money, and I have to do my turn, right?
Yeah.
I have to contribute because I am a member of society.
if you don't like this galaxy, go to another one.
Here's the problem.
If you're not forced to shovel your sidewalks,
here's the problem. If Walmart plays some crappy ass music in their store and I don't like it, I'm gonna go shop at someone else's store, and I might even leave a note in the box saying, "Your music sucks, cock. Fuck you. I'm going to shop at another store." And you know what? I don't think Target plays music in their store, and they're not that much more, and it's a cleaner store too. So fuck you, Walmart.
They play music at night while people are working.
The good thing about Walmart is they do not play music at night while people are actually working. All right, and what's the science behind all that? Why would they play music sometimes and not at other times? There's lots of research that has been done on this, and this is just one of the research programs that were done. And this one in particular was focused on. Let me just read it. People who tend to make unplanned purchases spend even more freely when shopping in the presence of background music, while contemplative shoppers, say that word for me.
Contemplative?
Contemplative.
I said it right the first time. Shoppers buy slightly less than usual when music is playing, which makes a whole lot of sense to me because I fucking will leave a shopping mall if the music is playing. But, however, when a pleasant citrus smell pervades a store, non-impulsive buyers, which is supposedly me, spend more time while impulsive shoppers spend less.
No, it doesn't say more time. It says spend more.
Later on, it says more time. Sorry about that. I've just broken the...
Spend more.
Yeah, but later on, it says why they spend more. Because they spend more time in the store doing research, and they end up buying more. So... this, and by the way, this is a article from the American Psychological Association, and it essentially says that the music actually causes people to spend, and a lot actually, on average, $32.80 more when the music is playing, while the contemplative individuals spend $8.66 less. But however, the citrus
$8.66 less.
if the citrus smell is in the air, they spend $5.57. Sorry, $5.77.
$5.71 more.
Yes, thank you, Daryl. My lips have stopped moving. So, and I fall in that category on two levels. First of all, I'll leave a store if the music is crazy.
Really?
The Walmart, dude. They
left the store
when
I'm like a man. I'm gonna go buy something in the store. Fuck, they're playing music. I don't.
Or
like.
I'll go right to my guy. I'll get it. And I'll go right to the register and I'll get the fuck up out of there. And I'll tell the person at the register. I'll say, hey, look, your music sucks, cock, and I'm leaving the store. No. I mean, no. If you never say these things, they'll never fucking know. That's the problem.
But you're not human if you say those things.
They can't do anything about it. They can't do anything about it.
The person running the checkout register isn't the person that put the music on the fucking speaker.
Exactly. But
that's a management decision coming out of Bentonville, Arkansas, where they've got the Walmart radio network that is broadcast into all 50 billion Walmart stores
not at our
around
store.
the galaxy.
At our store, it's a CD. And it starts the same way. It's not even on shuffle. It starts the same way every fucking morning. So I hear the same fucking song every goddamn morning. And I do want to leave the store because I want to go home. But now I really want to leave the store because the music sucks.
So tell your manager this music sucks cock.
I've already put the suggestion in the box. But where was I going? Oh, so anyways, if you're still following, if Sam Walton was still in charge, one of his main slogans was trust your employees on the front lines because they know what they're talking about. This is the disconnect that is the worst thing that happened. This is the fall of big stores. This is the fall of Sears, and one day it will be the fall of Walmart. Sam Walton died, and
everybody dies.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he was in a certain frame of mind. He was doing a good job. Now you have these guys who are completely disconnected and they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Kids who never had to work in their life.
They do not hear and listen to the guys on the front lines who actually know what the fuck is going on. They actually deal with the customers every day. They actually know where the problems are, but it doesn't matter what they know because they just work there. They didn't have a college education. They don't know what the hell's going on in business or in management or in whatever. Yeah. And that's the worst thing. But you know what? That store can go fuck themselves because
I like about that show.
They deserve to fail.
That's one thing I like about that show, Undercover Boss. To where they'll take a CEO of some company, usually a very large corporation, and have him go undercover and work in a store so that he can see what's going on,
right,
and then really get a feel for how past decisions that he made are actually affecting things.
And are they usually surprised, or how does that show usually turn out?
They are usually very surprised of, why are we doing it this way? Why don't we have this here? There was one that I watched not too long ago where it was the CEO of Family Dollar. And he went in and he was like, why is the screen so far away from the customer and from the register? Because when you're looking at the screen, ideally, you want to make eye contact with the customer as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Well, the customer is where Jay is. The screen is where you're sitting. So to tell the customer what their total is, you have to look completely away from them, and they're looking at the back of your head when you say, your total is $47.18. And
dollar store?
This was Family Dollar.
Tax.
Oh, New Hampshire, I forget.
No, we're tax wherever they're at. I don't know. So in
this Family Dollar, not everything's $1. They've got stuff that's like $4.92,
and that was just one thing.
That was one thing. there was stuff with how things come off of the truck. And, it's supposed to be loaded to where it makes it easy for you to unload and everything's where you need it. Well, nope. This stuff that goes in aisle 1 and stuff that goes in aisle 20 are on the same cart and this and that. And it was just a mess. And, ultimately they do generally make a lot of changes to make things work more easily for the people that are actually doing the work.
Yeah. Well, I have serious issues with every day. I mean, and most people do. The problem is that most people don't actually tell the people who it matters that there is a serious issue.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be human.
For the longest time at my
because humans don't.
For the longest time, we didn't even have a suggestion box.
The fuck they don't.
For 2 years.
They don't.
What's that? Say that again.
Humans don't express their problems like that. What percentage of their population?
No, they do to their buddies. They do on their.
Exactly. They bitch.
See, here's the thing, Jay.
Instead of telling your landlord, they'll bitch behind my back.
So
about
they
a problem with another.
So essentially, they talk behind
Here's
people's
the
backs,
thing.
but they never get the problem fixed.
People have been told, don't say anything.
Yeah.
So it's not that humans don't express themselves. It's that in the United States,
It's not proper.
But it's not just that
we've been taught that it's not proper to say and do certain things.
Yeah, but it's not that they've been taught necessarily, and they have in some situations, but it's the back flack. It's what they have to deal with, the consequences of being in someone else's face that are unsavory. So if I go tell the guy in the next aisle that his music sucks, now I got to walk past that fool every single day, and we have this bad feeling between us now.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about if you don't like the music
that's like the lowest.
Walmart,
that's like the lowest level.
Complain to the manager. If you get bad service at a restaurant, don't give a bad tip and write a nasty note on the receipt. Tell the fucking manager. Hey, I got really horrible service. I asked for my steak this way. They brought it out this way. I complained, and then they brought it back.
15 minutes for anything.
I never got a refill on my drink.
But the question is, why don't more people do Why are they holding back? The only way to fix
Don't make a scene.
And that's where we're getting.
Don't make a scene, Conan. Just go with the flow.
If you
show up on election day, that'll change everything. Don't go out and protest. Don't raise a stink at the school board meeting.
If you want the world to flow more efficiently, you've got to step up and fix the problem. You can't just go back to your couch.
Ignore the problems and they go away. If you get bad service, just pretend that it was good service, and it will be good service. If you just pretend that Barack Obama isn't ordering drone strikes in Yemen, then it's not going to happen. People aren't going to die if you just pretend that it doesn't happen.
That's the mentality, and that is the problem. And until we get out of that problem, that's just one more problem that's going to keep us down.
Don't complain that Israel is bombing the Palestinians. That's rude. They got killed in WW2, so therefore they can murder as many Arabs as they want.
Aha!
This is true, and it's a sad, it's a sad way to look at things, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
But stop listening to their propaganda.
And like we were saying, I mean, the people who do get in people's faces and actually, let people know what's going on are usually seen as the bad guys.
And they use that psychology against us to keep us from speaking up.
We're just
not me.
They say what is it called?
Because I open my mouth on bullshit.
All right, here's something interesting. At the bottom of this article, it says if you're selling high-risk items like cars, you may want to use scent rather than music.
Because you want the guy to stay in there longer, which is the scent.
Well,
the
it
scent
says
Take
that
that shitty loan.
a pleasant scent, and this is 2 paragraphs up, a pleasant scent can enhance cognition and cause people to better remember the details of a product. So, yeah, if you're wanting someone to purchase an automobile from you, you're going to want them to remember the specs, That way, when you go ask, all right, so do you want the 4-cylinder or the 6-cylinder on that Honda Civic over there?
Yeah.
Do you want them to remember which one they were looking at? Not, I think it's that blue one, maybe, or the red one. I don't know. It's one of those over that way.
There was another interesting study, a big study that they did that focused on liquor stores and what type of music they should play, and they played two types. The study was on classical music versus contemporary music.
Okay.
And they found that while they played classical music, they made more money versus the contemporary type crap. But so plus. But the reason that they made more money during the classical music is because people, not because they bought more alcohol, but they bought more expensive alcohol.
Interesting.
Probably more wines. Most definitely the higher dollar items.
I will think I will take a port instead of this cheap ass vodka today.
So that's very interesting. So you listen to high class music, and all of a sudden you start buying high class. How you like that?
Play some Chopin.
So
Play some Chopin.
So mothers with the babies still in the womb playing the Mozart. If you want a little expensive ass bitch to take care of, keep on playing that Mozart. You're gonna have a high class little kid.
Now, do you know why they
you want a cheap ass kid that's gonna be cheap to raise? Keep playing that Miley Cyrus and that Britney Spears.
Do you know why they use classical music in the Little Einstein videos? It has nothing to do with classical music makes you smarter.
Because they don't have to pay royalties.
Yes. Classical music is all public domain.
I actually saw the study. They actually put a microphone in the womb, so it has to compete with all the blockage, the placenta and the everything. And they played music from without, and you cannot tell the difference between Nirvana and Mozart.
Yeah,
it's all and that's it. That's all you hear.
Yeah,
so it's a big load of crap. The bottom line is people who listen to classical music are a different class of people who listen to Kiss or whatever the hell.
Here,
or
listen
Britney
to this.
Spears.
This is some 50s experimental electronic
50s
babies music.
That sounds like something they would put out there to brainwash kids into
horrible.
Murdering the president. That's some old Manchurian shit right there, man. That's some old Clockwork Orange shit right there.
That is absolutely horrible. So,
wait. What's the wait?
It's called "Soothing Sounds for Baby" by Raymond Scott
in the 50s.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty
he
horrible.
Built all his own equipment.
Unbelievable.
So we're now at Conan's favorite segment of the show.
What did you learn?
Jay Freeville, what did you learn tonight during the show?
I learned that Conan likes to say, "Your music is shit."
No, it sucks cock.
Exactly.
It sucks cock. With extra emphasis on the K sounds.
You know what? And I like to clarify. Look, listen. A lot of people have not. Especially the young people. They haven't even considered this yet. They haven't even entered into the world. Jay, I know you don't have an excuse. You've been in the world. You know what I'm talking about. You have no excuse. If you've never heard this idea before that your music sucks and no one else wants to hear it, then I don't hate you. The people who I hate are the people who've already heard this argument and they've already been asked to turn their music down or off completely, or to go fucking buy some earplugs. You work in Walmart and there's goddamn a dozen.
Come with the fucking phone.
There's a dozen earphones over there. You can go pick your pick. You can get the $3 ones. You can get the damn $30 ones. There's no
you don't
excuse.
have to buy the Beats.
There's no excuse. So if I've already talked to you about this and you're still listening to your shit out loud in my presence.
Wouldn't it be nice if we...
You're a douchebag. I just want you to know you're the douchiest of douchebags, and I hope you burn in hell and get eaten by a shark. In hell.
Sharknado.
Wow.
A shark with lava in its belly. So when the shark eats you, you go down to the lava belly.
Torture if you just live in its stomach for a while?
Yes.
Getting all burned by the stomach acids. And having to live
the
off,
lava,
and having to live off of whale fat. That's like 3 months old from the last kill.
The dolphin's trying to rape you inside.
So Mr. Conan.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me get the show notes up. All right, let's see. Government. Oh, we didn't talk about the sidewalk,
We did not talk about the sidewalks.
which we should have because we talked about sidewalks last week when Marcus was on, and this was a good follow-up for that. Maybe we'll have some time. No, we won't. Okay, so did we talk about warrants? We talked about the guys in the... Okay, so... Oh, shit, dude. You go first. Let me think about this.
So I learned that if there's a pleasant scent, preferably of a citrus nature, flowing throughout the store, then cautious shoppers will actually spend more money and they will pay more attention to the details of the products that they are buying or comparing.
What's your favorite scent out there? You too, Jay. Because my favorite scent just happens to be citrus. And I don't know if that has to do anything to me being from Florida, and it's, you know...
I do like a nice citrus smell. I also like vanilla.
Uh-huh.
Or something that reminds me of the beach.
Fish?
No, beach.
Yeah, fish. When I go...
No, like coconut and sea breeze.
Yeah, growing up in Florida, whenever I went to the beach, guess what I smelled? Crabs, shells, fish, salt.
You went to the nasty beach.
That's every beach.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Fish.
When I'm talking about the beach, I'm talking about
right.
having a fucking pina colada.
All right, well, then
and
you need to say something that reminds you of paradise. Like a tropical paradise.
Yes.
All right,
sea breeze.
There are
coconut.
no fish in tropical paradises. Jay, what's your favorite scent?
Taxi cab.
Because it's different every time.
What?
No, it's like this, it's like the air freshener scent. I don't know what it is.
I thought you were talking about like the people who were in it, like kind of a musky, kind of a.
Well, I guess
Be-
it all kinda adds up.
Hold on, I'm
a
trying
musky
to remember.
BO.
I worked at a car wash for a little over a year.
I like new car
and
scents,
a lot of taxi cabs from San Antonio came through this car wash, and I think most of them either got the pina colada
Aha.
or the cinnamon.
I would say it's pina colada. Is that
there's another tropical paradise
it's kind
smell
of like
for you.
cigarette smoke, kind of mixed with that, because
And of course, I like citrus. So here we are. We're all going to the whole southern clientele.
Yes.
Clientele. Can I say that? Southern climates, where the the good stuff grows. Pina coladas, oranges,
there's a
vanilla.
song in
Where does
there
vanilla
somewhere.
grow? Is that a
Coconut replaces the smell of the bar.
mostly in
I'm
South
not
America?
sure if it's her or the rum.
Vanilla. Stop giving me these
vanilla ice.
ice, baby. What did I learn tonight? I learned that the break song that we listened to is not, in fact, a Skrillex song. It is, in fact, by a smaller group that no one has ever heard of. And hopefully I can do my part this evening to let everyone else out there know that the idiot who posted the original song under someone else's name needs to also be eaten by a shark with lava stomach and burn in hell forever, because that is just god awful. That is fraudulent. That is huge, nasty plagiarism. And you need to die.
Hot McDonald's coffee would work. It's just as
I mean, it's one thing to use someone else's work and to make and to use pieces of it and and
Give them credit.
and to give them credit and to make something better, but to actually just take someone's just full out song and just put someone else's name on it so you can get more hits.
It's all about the hits.
There's no telling how much YouTube he's made off of the those millions of hits that he's gotten.
I think I have this one video that has like 60,000 views, and I enabled revenue. And it's like I got $80 at one. Like I just
Woohoo!
Nobody needs to view ads for that little amount of money I get.
Yeah, the ads are pretty sucky unless you have a nice block on your computer.
Yeah, that's what I do. I never see this damn thing.
For some reason, I have a hard time with my Firefox getting the blocks to work on it. The Chrome is working just fine just right now.
Every
The
time I
original-
read
Use the original ad block, not the fucking ad block plus.
Plus.
Ad block plus sucks.
Yeah, AdBlock Plus disables itself every time I turn my computer on.
I have to do it sometimes when I want to download something
Yeah.
using another download program, and I have to turn the ad block off, and sometimes I forget to turn it back on. It's all confusing. But you know what, technology? I don't hate you.
Sometimes when I want to watch porn, it kind of gets in the way, and they're like, "You were using the ad blocking, so turn it off, please."
Titsforbitcoin.com.
I saw that.
Just
What's
gonna
that?
throw
What's
that
that all
out there.
about? You can leave it at that. Are we doing
Just leaving it at that.
Are we doing plugs right now?
It's a nifty cam girl site where you can give bitcoins.
Can you talk to them while they're doing their thing?
Yes.
Is it all live?
Yes.
I don't have time for all that. I don't like live interaction. I don't even like multiplayer games anymore.
Do they hear like the change thing when they get the coins?
I don't remember if there was a change sound, but it does pop up like so and so just tipped.
He lives on it.
He's just got your old.
I went to the site I saw the site come up in my feed, and I was like, let me see what this is.
It's only been up for 12 hours, Jay. He's only had 12 hours to do all the research that he needs to. We'll talk to Daryl W. Perry next week about this new Bitcoin for Tits site and how much research he's done this week. But for now, you have been watching Black Sheep Rising. You can find the show notes and the archives and the audio and everything, all the links at blacksheeprising.org. Check us out on Stitcher and on iTunes, and go ahead and rate us if you've got the opportunity.
And if you shop at Amazon, don't forget to click the link. And if you buy silver, click the link too.
Yeah, I don't have that yet.
Oh.
I don't have a donate page yet either. I need to do that. I need to do a Bitcoin donate and a regular PayPal donate. That'll help out. The 5 viewers that watch the show might actually have some change from me.
Well,
There are the affiliate links
Are you a
on
business?
Am I a business?
FPP.cc.
No.
You can't accept money if you don't register with the government.
He's a human.
Yeah. Check us out at Facebook.
He's a human.
I prefer any comments and
No,
messages.
the manager.
I prefer the comments and messages at the YouTube. Not YouTube, but the Facebook. But, yeah, you can leave them anywhere. You can leave them at the webpage. You can leave them at the YouTubes. They're all going to come. They're going to cycle through me. But you know how I really want to hear your messages?
P.O. Box
Voicemail.
7000 Keene,
Yes. Voicemail. God damn it.
267-521 BSR1.
I keep saying I want a creative voicemail, and I think I put people on the spot. Maybe they're like, oh, he wants something like crazy good with like music playing in the background and drops and stuff. No, just fucking leave
Call
me.
in and say, Conan, you fucking suck. Cock.
Baba Booey.
I'm about to leave my own voicemail just as
Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis, Baba Booey.
just to play it on the own thing. The email address is show@blacksheeprising.org.
Cock.
No.
Your
Daryl,
music sucks cock.
plugs?
Hair plugs? No, I don't have
For
them.
men?
Not yet.
I am getting a haircut on Wednesday in exchange for Bitcoin.
Excellent.
Getting a business here in Keene set up to take the Bitcoin for haircuts. They are on Main Street.
Excellent. I love to hear that. And also Corner News. You guys spent Bitcoin for the first time at Corner News just recently?
I've spent Bitcoin several times at Corner News.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Jay, any drops, plugs?
Mailtojail.com. Write to nobody right now because nobody in the Liberty Committee is in jail.
How do you like that? That's
I'm like the Maytag repairman.
I know it's like it's like we're living in a whole new realm right now.
Somebody please go to jail and get their rights violated so I can mail letters out.
What the hell are those curmudgeons going to talk about now? We're all the crazy.
Oh, they'll still think of something.
Where are all the crazy Keeniacs at? Who are getting themselves thrown in jail on every single month?
It's the winter. It's kind of like the.
We're all taking a break.
Nobody
We're
can show their
hibernating.
tits in the square. Well, they can, but they're going to have really.
You know what I have to say about winter?
You just fucked that one up.
Hold on, I'll play. You know what? Let me say that again. You know what I have to say about winter?
To hell with happy holidays.
Yes. I was doing the giggities to the hard nipples.
You know,
in the square.
and I think, and in her defense,
For
as much as I don't like that lady, I think that is taken completely out of context.
It was.
Yeah, but I'm still going to keep playing it.
Yes. So if anybody wants the context, I can give that real quick. So just before Christmas, the board of directors for Cheshire Television were invited to come down to the studio and record holiday greetings. And Cynthia was doing her greeting, and she wanted to include, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and she said, what else? And it was suggested that she say Happy Holidays, and she said, the hell with Happy Holidays. I want to actually give the names of them. So that's where that clip came from. It's really hilarious.
Excellent. Folks, you've been watching Black Sheep Rising. We will be back next week at the same time. You can count on it. Thank you, Daryl.
Yep.
Thank you, Jay. Both of you are always welcome back. Rapture's going to be on next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha ha.
Hold on. Where is it? I can't find it.
That's what she said.
No, she did not say that. She says, oh, my fucking eye. That's what she said. Anyways, you at home. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Gave in again. The bastard can keep refusing rights. So he'll own the cash, but the sin is on the hands of you. So to carry on, plead silence. Weekends are calling. There's close enough, and there's too far. It won't change an empty stare, but I can't seem to end these emotions.
apparently too many pot
Too
leaves.
high?
You too low. Yeah, I liked it where it was. I've got
Do we
serious.
want to do that video or not? If not, you can pop my thing out.
Let's just leave it in there. Pop your thing out. Son of a bitch.
Are you talking about the dog again?
You like that?
That's pretty cool.
You said you listened to Flask?
Listed.
Oh,
We went to an auction last night. I bought a bunch of shit for $20.70.
what do you mean? Bunches and how much bunch?
I got 10 boxes of, about 50 pounds of baseball cards from the 1980s.
Uh-huh.
I've got a decent amount of books that I got for like $2. Got a print from the St. Louis World's Fair for like $2. Got some Mickey Mouse wooden paintings. They were paintings done on wood for $5. So I got a decent amount of stuff. Uncle Remus. I got the fucking Uncle Remus book.
Is that like a Uncle Tom?
That's the one that I showed you where I flipped open to the picture of the Briar Rabbit and I was like, read this.
I was reading that. I didn't see the picture.
Yeah.
Wait, Uncle Remus is in the Briar Rabbit?
Yes.
Song of the South. You ever seen Song of the South by Disney?
Song of the South?
Yeah.
Is it old black and white?
No, it was a cartoon.
Check.
Kind of like Mary Poppins, but it was like based in the South. There was like a black slave, basically.
And what was his deal?
Uncle Remus.
Uncle Remus. His Songs and Stories is the title of the book.
Was
No way racist, but Disney refuses to show it in the U.S.
Did Samuel L. Jackson play Uncle Remus in Django
God, that would
Unchained?
be awesome.
I would fucking love to see Samuel fucking Jackson.
I would actually go to the movie theater for that one.
We should do a Bitcoin fundraiser for that and call up Samuel L. Jackson and find out if he would play Uncle Remus. Uncle Remus, no relation.
All right, Jay, give me some more.
Zippity fucking doodah.
Zippity doodah. Who sang? Was that Uncle Remus who sang the Zippity doodah?
That's about the only thing you ever hear from Song of the South is that song.
Zippity doodah, zippity yay. My oh my, what a wonderful day.